Continuation, Erased, episode 2, for the first time in a long while. Apologies for the delay. This is also a weight lifted off my shoulders. It's the last time I feel as though I'm going to have to say this. For all the other series, I have to lead off with a similar sort of opening. But, you know, things happen. Took a little over a month here. Just needed some time. All of July needed to be taken off, and we're back though. I'm feeling good, feeling excited. I'm feeling happy to be here. I will say there was a little holdup of getting started on this series. It was always planned to do this one last of the ones that I went back and watched because it was the last thing we uploaded. But it was a little holdup of like not being like excited almost to jump directly into it because I wanted to rewatch the first episode, and it was just difficult. It's so difficult to get me to like nowadays to watch an anime episode not on camera. It's so like it takes so much work, and especially to rewatch something I've already seen. Oh my god, it took so much. So I was able to though. We got through. I did it. I didn't think I needed to, but I wanted to be safe anyways, just to be, you know, on the good side. And after watching it, I don't think it made anything else more clear or gave me like some crazy new theories or anything. So I felt like I was probably in a good enough state, but just wanted to be safe regardless. The only two things I think that really did stand out to me that were different that I don't know if I touched on. I didn't watch my own video and discussion and stuff from the first episode, but the only things that did really stand out to me that were different that I don't think I probably touched on was a few things just not being resolved, almost like lingering shots on specific sort of things that typically you would expect to be touched on at some point, like, oh, that's why we're putting focus on that. That wouldn't make too much sense if we go all the way back, like we're being shown at the end of the episode. Two of the ones that did stand out were just the guy at the pizza shop that works with us. Not the girl, but the guy who works there. He gave like a little look, like staring as we were leaving. And then the girl also looked over and saw that there was like a book or a notebook or something that was left behind, likely by Satoru. So I'm not sure where all that connection is going to come in. And then the other one is whatever was written on the piece of paper that the mom had, she put down as soon as she walked back into the apartment for the final time. And then when Satoru comes inside, he picks it up and puts it in his pocket or just holds it by his side or something, but he doesn't actually look at it. So whatever those things are just like few things that had like lingering shots to show you like we're intentionally almost showing something here, and we don't have really a reason for it yet, which can be played out almost in two ways, in my opinion. The first being the jump, like the time skip almost, or the going back in time that we're doing here, isn't like a permanent sort of thing. And permanent could be two different ways. It could just simply be we are going back. We're going to catch up at like episode like 7 or 8 or 9 or something. And then we're going to go forward. So this information might be useful again when time is replayed almost. But you would assume if we do go back in time and we relive throughout those years or alter the scenario that happens with the girl to prevent the kidnapping or for preventing Yuki from being the one who gets accused of the killings or whatever it actually is, that things would be drastically different in the future that wouldn't necessarily leave us to the scenario that we find ourselves at. So I don't know if I buy that one as much. The other thing I was thinking of is like, what if we just like go back in the past to almost provide context so he's not actually all the way back there and we're almost flashing between the two. It's like his memory is reawakening almost. The erased memories that he has, the things that have been suppressed for so long that his mom tried to, you know, him and probably all the other kids in the town to forget, slowly are coming back to him. And maybe it could just be an indication of that. So we're going to have to play it out and we're going to have to see. I don't know if I'm going to buy either of those, though. I realistically think we are just completely back. So I just don't know where the relevance of those shots really come in. Maybe there isn't, and I'm buying into something a little too much here, or reading into something a little too much. We'll have to find out, though. We will have to see. I was trying to think of a background color to use. I changed my backgrounds to try and almost fit like the mood or aesthetic of the series, the colors, whatever it is. I think we went with like a yellowish the first episode, which is kind of hard to nail. Just more warm lighting is what I was doing to almost fit with, I guess, the key visual that I saw of it, and I think there's like a lantern in it, and it's just something about the color made me think like, yeah, we can kind of go with that. But thinking back and after watching that episode, I'm just thinking like there were a lot of, death and things with blood, so red. But of course, also like the bag that the girl's wearing, bright red. I think even her coat was I don't know what it was. There was like a box he passed when he went back in time. His uniform that he was, just a lot of red being like a color that is utilized throughout this. So it almost felt like maybe we should go red. And I don't think I've gone full red for a series yet since I've started changing colors. So it could be fun. Could be fun. Not that it matters, but just a little thought that I had. Hopefully you enjoy. If you like it all, hit the like and subscribe. If you want to, feel free to stick around for the discussion. Let me comments. The series is going with Erased episode 2. Why did I rewatch the episode if they were gonna do this? Huh? Yeah, about that. And OP. That's super cool. Yeah, just sit next to yourself. Any like older dude with dark hair is gonna be the most suspicious thing ever. A lot of younger focus, so I don't know if the flashing's gonna happen. Bullets, fire, I don't know all about all this. He's just a kid. It's good, dude. It's gotta be the only one open. Perfect way to know. Oh no, I think there's 2 open. Uh-oh. Oh, where's mine then? That's what? It's freaking it. I don't know. You're late. It's coming midday. Get to see her again. Always kept the key back here. The hero you are. Passed out. Sleeping?
Tadaima. Kaasan?
How awful that must be. I have to go through that and then get to see her again and then like not tell her and then also not know if you're always going to be here or if this is going to be like a last time thing and still not know what's going on in your life. You're so much more mature in less than a day. Right the wrongs, the regrets and mistakes. Be grateful more for the little things too. Right, that's always the thing too. You gotta do all of them? Because the guy who killed is at the root cause of it all. And this is the only opportunity likely to eliminate it. Staring again.
確か母親と二人暮らし。
Hmm.
打撲症？
やっぱこのグループ変わってるよな。誰ともドラクエの話できないんだもん。うん。だってヒロはファイファンだし、カズはシューティングしかやんないし。
ヒロ、カズ、思い出してきた。
サトルなんて
The boys.
持ってないべや。
そうだ。
Yeah, wait till you know what I get in the future.
ドラクエ仲間とはドラクエの話しかできないだろ。俺は趣味がバラバラなこのメンバーだからいいと思ってるよ。
ケンヤ。
What a
昔
guy.
思ってた通り頭のいいやつだ。
お前、ひなずきのこと好きなの？
Second
授
time.
業中ずっと見てたろ。そうなの？ああ、そうそう。朝もつったってひなずきのことずっと
Don't think I didn't notice that one.
なんだサトル、それならなんで俺たちに相談しねえのよ。
Because you're about to do some dumb shit. No, yeah, exactly. No,
俺がひなずきと
no, brother. Brother.
声が大きいよ。
Why are you so loud?
好きっていうか、ちょっと気になってる。
Yeah. she might be important.
よっしゃ、よく言った。放課後に会えるよ。俺
No. I like the support, but like, let him be.
ド直球だな。第一声がそれかよ。声に出てた。カズのやつ。何のひねりもなく俺が好きだって伝え。
I mean, yeah, he's right to the point. They just pushed her into it. What a guy.
って思って、帰る方向も一緒だしさ。私なんかのどこを見てそんなこと言ってるの？
めんどくせえガキだな。
でも、なんか少しわかる。藤沼ってさ、私と一緒で偽物だから。昨日走って帰る藤沼見たよ。え？母親ってそんなに大切なもの？うん、友達になりたいんだ。
Yeah, she good off you.
友達。じゃあ、私のために人を殺せる？僕なら助けられたはず。
Ma'am, you are 7.
殺されるひなずきには事件以前から何かが起きている。この大きな違和感を解決すれば、もしかしたら。
It's good, bro.
周りとうまく付き合うためにこうありたいという自分を演じていた。
恥ずかしがらず勇気を持って。
Yep. Do we start there?
社会の中で自分が適応していくためだ。私と一緒と言ったひなずきもおそらく。
But she's not trying to fit into nothing. Just keep attention off, maybe.
ちゃんと一緒に帰るべって言えたか。
Yeah, she got real freaky.
まだ少し話しただけだから。話したって二人で？うん。
Practically dating, yeah.
ひなずきが二人っきりで話すなんてよ。なんならまた
うぜえ。どう扱えばいいんだこいつら。
茶化すなよみんな。焦って台無しになったらどうすんだよ。
What? Wow. Logical.
ま、意味は曲がったままだけどな。
Yeah, it's better than them.
6年になってもクラス替えはないんだしさ。大事に行けよ。
ひなずきがいなくなるのはいつだ。あまり時間は。
We don't know dates or nothing.
あれ？サトル、こないだマクレガーの手袋買ったんじゃなかったっけ？
あ、そういやそんなの持ってたな。
どっかに忘れてきたのかな。まあ、そんじゃきっとアジトじゃない？
Yo, where's that?
みんな、ちょっとアジト寄ってかない？何言ってんの？雪が降ってすぐは足跡が残るから行かないって決まりだべさ。
Yo, bro, I don't know where it is.
ケイヤ！ん？さっきはありがとう。お前がひなずきを気にしていることが、なんだかすごく大事なことのように思えるんだ。もしかしたら余計なことかもしれないけど、何でも相談してくれないか。きっとみんなもサトルに協力したいと思ってる。うん。ありがとう。
I don't know if I like you. You're a little too perfect, you know? Like, you know a little too much. You're a little too grown and matured for this.
うん。ちょっとだけ本音で話してくれたと思う。そうか。ところでさ、サトル。最近お前文集読んだ？え？あ、いや、読んでないよ。意外と面白いからさ、今度読んでみなよ。したっけ？また明日。したっけ？
What's in there?
ケンヤは多分ひなずきの作文のことを面白いと言ったんだ。
私だけ
All
がい
alone.
ない町、ひなずきかよ。今よりもっと大きくなって、一人でどこへでも行けるようになったら、遠い国に行ってみたい。遠い島に行ってみたい。誰もいない島に行ってみたい。辛いことも悲しいこともない島に行ってみたい。その島で私は私だけがいなくなった町のことを考える。子供はいつものように学校に行く。大人はいつものように会社に行く。お母さんはいつものようにご飯を食べる。私は私だけがいない町のことを考えると気持ちが軽くなる。遠くへ行きたい。
ひなずきの作文は紛れもなく SOS だ。
Yeah. But we also could be playing with saving someone who doesn't want to be.
ケンヤは俺が恋愛感情なんかじゃなく文集を読んでひなずきに関心を持ったと思っている。
お母さん、
何？
誕生日さ、友達呼んでパーティーやっていい？
Inclusive. Hmm.
でもこのうちじゃ大勢は入れないべさ。
大丈夫。
Yeah, we don't got that many friends.
あんたはそんなこと言うの初めてだね。
俺が今なすべきことはひなずきにもっと踏み込むことだ。俺が過去にやらなかったアクションを起こす。それによってひなずきの行動を変えてこの先俺の周りで起こる事件を回避する。
5人ってあんた彼女でもできた？
You only got 4 friends.
似てるの？
妖怪め。俺はこのお袋の悟りみたいな観察眼が嫌で文集見せなかったんだ。俺は何書いたんだっけ？
サトル、ひなずき帰っちゃうよ。いいの？
おさむ。
したっけ？
したっけ？
Good luck, brother.
サトルくん大胆。
An inspiration to the group.
走らなくたってひなずきがどこにいるかは分かってる。
Yep, same place as
お
always.
そらく母親から虐待を受けているひなずき
So
は
that's why she hangs out alone at the park as long as she can.
い
Yep.
つも暗くなるまであの公園にいるんだ。
何してんのこんなとこで。
俺のセリフだろそれ。友達になりたいって言っただろ。
Making the effort.
人殺しはできないけど。
冗談に決まってるべさ。
うわ、俺の苦手なタイプ。
藤沼ってさ、なんかふりをしてるでしょ。
え？
笑ってるふり、優しいふり、心配しているふり。別に悪いことだって思わないよ。
He's terrified underneath it all.
言えないけど、藤沼の顔が見えない。
その通りだと思うよ。
Until then, can't
俺
open
は
up.
演じてる。人に好かれたい。友達が欲しい。人と接するのが苦手な自分に何ができるって考えたら、俺の方がみんなのことを好きになろうって思ったんだ。そしたら演じるのが少し楽になった。
演じているうちに本当になる気がするよ。口に出して言ってるうちに本当になる気がする。
懐かしいと感じた愛理の言葉と同じ。みんな何かを手に入れるために我慢して努力して
Way of life, my brother.
奮い立たせて。ひなずきもそうなんじゃないか。今きっと耐えてる。俺とは真逆で無関心を装ってる。何も感じない自分を演じようとしている。でもたかが10歳の女の子がそんなに強いわけない。
バースデーパーティーやるんだ。来てよ。
私が行ってもいいの？
You're one of
い
5.
っぱい来るんでしょ。
まだわかんない。最初にひなずきに渡そうって決めてたから。3月2日だから。
え？
来てくれるよね？
うん。藤沼、手冷たく。
Reaction to the date because of something else or because it's very close.
置き忘れちゃったみたいなんだ。
おい、29
Yeah, lock it, lock it.
何照れてんだよ。
藤沼、もういいよ。最近の藤沼は少し話しやすい。
まあひなずきに嘘をつかないって決めたからな。声に出てた。
I love the layers of the.
ひなずきしたっけ？またしたな。
あいつも手袋してなかったな。
Mhm.
遺体が見つかるのは雪が溶けた後だったはず。
こんな公園で
So winter.
雛月を一人ぼっちにさせない。俺は
俺は未来を変えたい。
I want to assume it's timeline from now till birthday, and birthday can be reward for her to make it there. But I might be pushing, might be way off on that. I don't know how often it'd be snowing in March in Japan, so I got I got no idea. Super intriguing episode 2 continues with the strongest aspect and even ramps it up to another level, I'd say, of where what I kind of took out of the first one, which is it felt the atmosphere was just very strong. I felt very immersed into what was going on and where we presently were. And I think this episode does an even stronger job. Aspect ratio change alongside with general themes of cold and alone, and just having that pacing to allow those soft, like subtle sort of moments really to connect in a way, right? That feeling of walking in the snow or walking in the cold, that feeling of just being freezing and trying to grab at anything to find sort of warmth at times. And even just like subtle little things of being more appreciative and whatever else that Satoru is going through now, all definitely were paced in a way that properly connect and hit, at least for me. And I'm really appreciative of that. So really cool stuff, I think, that we're getting into. The direction of the story also intrigues me a decent amount. Leaves me worried in certain aspects, but nothing too crazy. And also, a lot of worrying things typically just come from the unknown and being concerned about where they plan to head with that. Having questions as well of things that we see in the present day that we haven't gotten a connection to, that I brought up earlier before the episode began, that are seeming completely unlikely to potentially get answered maybe at some point, also leave me a little like, where the hell are we going with this? So I'm interested, very much so. I love a lot of different aspects. I think one of the big things that I said was the scenario with the mom, the being, I mean, he's going to naturally just be a lot more matured at certain points, because of him, being 29 within this body and everything, or within the mind at least. But his little moments of just being, at least being able to recognize, like, I just lost the most, closest and most important thing basically to me. I'm being given a chance. I don't understand what's going on, and my mind is probably all fucked up right now. But I'm being given this chance. And these subtle little things are memories and things that if this isn't corrected and I fail at this, or if this is even a dream state or whatever it is that I'm in, that's being cleared up to a level of allowing me to re-remember a lot of these sort of things, the subtle, small little details. I would like to have those feelings again. I would like to express my gratitude so much more and save those feelings that I have, really allow them to reach me at certain parts that they probably just flew over my head in the past, and really just show my appreciation there, which I think is great. He's savoring every sort of moment that he can. It seems like with his mom being as nice as he kind of can, being thankful for her, for the things that she does, for just the relationship and the dynamic that they're able to have here, knowing that I may never retrieve this once more. And I think it's such a sweet thing, and such an important thing too, not even just at that level, but just in general as a reminder almost for us as well as people to try and find those sort of moments that you just take for granted almost, and just actually welcome them, actually be thankful for them, and appreciate every little sort of thing that you can, for the scenario that you're in, for the people that you find yourself around, whatever it is. Even if you're not, if you're not, find that in the places that you can. But here, I think it's so awesome to be able to see, and a great reminder almost for especially me to almost take that into my day-to-day going forward. I think it's pretty cool. Another big thing we get, his friend group. It's always fun to have a supportive friend group. It's always fun to have a group of individuals that are largely different, which was a big focus point almost that they placed on it with the blonde kid. What is his name? Let me look. I don't remember. Kenya. With Kenya, who is very different from all the other members, but points out that's what I like about us. We are all very different. We all don't like the same sort of things, but we connect in a way that allows us to be close and allows us to be together. And that's so cool, having people who come from basically every different avenue to then be like, look, we're going to connect at this point and we can express the things that we like to other people, and we can pick up and become more knowledgeable of whatever, or we could just mess around and make fun of each other if we want for these sort of things, right? But having that sort of connection while coming from largely different interests and backgrounds and whatever else is a really fun dynamic for them to have within their group. So pretty fun stuff. I think with them, the whole sequence of setting up for Satoru to go talk to Kaio is really hilarious. It's like you cringe a little because you're like, fuck, don't do that. Like you don't want them to do that for you if it's something especially you want to and you don't want to mess up and whatever else. And I like that he was able to stand his ground a lot later and bring that up to them. But at the same time, or at least to Kaio, but still really cool that they're willing to do that for you, that they're like super excited when you said that, and they're like, I want to help you out, I want to do whatever I can, and it's super cute. And so I like that he has that group. It makes me question and wonder where the hell they're all at in the future. What the hell happened? Why did you do this? Why did you become this? Is it because you weren't showing your true self and maybe you resented people on a certain level, or you had certain feelings towards things and you weren't able to fully express that and open up and whatever else? I don't know. It could just be led from other things that happen after this incident and people being brought, further apart. There's also the thing to make note of that 2 people, apparently, I'm pretty sure they said that in the first episode of his class, died, which it just wasn't Kaio. So if that is the case, Kenya could be one of them because he's getting a lot of focus throughout this, or maybe another member of the friend group, and it forces them all almost to like separate and become further apart. Kenya would make a lot of sense to be the case there, simply because he seems like that glue guy almost. Every group's got the glue guy. He seems like the glue guy. So if he's gone, it might make things kind of crumble. Him being the logical voice of reason, so could be issues. He is really interesting to me too. I don't know what it is. He's giving me bad vibes, and I think it's because he's a little too perfect. He's a little too on point with everything, with his observation of whatever's going on, of his maturity, of recognizing everything that's going on through Satoru's mind here, and giving him hints and like dropping little things of where to go. He leaves me really cautious. He's kind of suspicious because of that. It might be nothing. I kind of hope it's nothing, because then he's just a dope dude to have around, but I'm probably going to be suspicious all the way through unless we start getting some answers that really steer me in a different direction. I'm going to be largely suspicious of him. I am not saying he's like the one who kills. It could be some weird thing with it, but like something about him seems off, whether it's like what he knows, or maybe he's in like a sort of scenario similar almost to us, or what it is, being a pawn almost for some. I don't know what it is, but something feels weird with him. And the last like real big thing comes from the connection that we get to explore, the conversation between our lead 2 at the end. We had the other one a little bit earlier into it, but specifically that one, which was really sweet. It's interesting too, a little scary at times as well. We're in a difficult sort of spot. You're placed almost with the task of somebody like Satoru, who seems to find the cry out for help from someone, knowing what goes down at this point in time, a little bit more in the future, but from the future, coming back and having a knowledge of what is going to happen, knowing what he could have changed potentially and prevented, and wanting to do that after seeing that there were signs prior to it, that it was almost like she's looking for that, but still potentially being faced with somebody who is looking for that space. She says, I want to be erased completely from this town. She wants to find that freedom almost, and a big theme and thing that typically comes with a lot of people is sometimes they feel that only escape, that only freedom, that thing that they can get can be released through death. It's hard to be the hero in a scenario, I could only imagine, when somebody may truly not want that, may truly not want to be saved deep down. But I feel like you gotta do it regardless, you know? It's like you can't like really give advice to somebody who doesn't want to like take that advice and actually like utilize it. Like you can, but like there's no point because it's like they're not going to do it anyways, right? Like you can't save someone who doesn't want to be saved, but like fuck, you got to try your hardest to do so, because you're gonna live with that regret at the end of the day. And shit, I'd rather live with that regret with you being alive and being next to me than you being gone. So you got to do it regardless. But you get into a real scary thing because likely we start at the surface of abuse from the inside with her mom, and strong possibility we're going to expand and blow that open to find out that it's so much deeper rooted than that. And that's the scary thing, is you're about to get yourself into a fucked up situation that just brings so much extra onto you in your life. But he's saving two at this point too, right? It's not like it's just him. He's doing it for his mom. So he's or not just her. It's others. So there's a lot at stake here, and he has to take those risks and those chances regardless of where this brings him. It brings plenty of questions too. Like he's not going to, but I'll propose it anyways. Like, what if he dies, right? He's not going to. Let's be real. But if he did, it's game over. You not go back. You just go to the future and everything's screwed. You can't really die and then go back to the future. That's not really how that works either, right? What happens? Do you just start back over from where episode 1 ended? Like, where do you go? It's not going to happen, but it's where my mind goes. You potentially sacrifice yourself, right? What if we could go into that situation, right? He's not just going to die, but what if he does at the end, but it saves the other two, you know? Do you sacrifice yourself for that? Like, where are we going to go? Sorry, I don't know. That's where my mind immediately goes with these things for some reason. We got our OP at the beginning. This shot's super sick. I love the two versions of them. I love the black and white. It's super cool. There's some fun stuff. I like the film strips and everything else that we're going with. I'm not going to talk too much. I don't like going into OPs and stuff. Typically, there were like fire and bullets and explosions and stuff. I'm a little worried almost for what the hell is about to go down. February 15th, we're very close to the birthday. It leaves me questioning, as we talk about a little bit later, with her reaction almost to the date. Is it because we're getting super close? It's not even the 15th. It's probably like the 17th or 18th or something by the time we get to that point. So it is really close. Is it just or something else she's got going on that day, or something else of importance? Maybe it's her birthday or something. Who knows? What else we have? Is that going to be like next episode sort of thing, or is that going to be the end goal? We have to keep her alive long enough to get there. We talked about, or they talked about at least, the snow covering her almost, which is fucking insane, and nobody was able to find that or find her until afterwards, after it all clears up. How long is it going to snow? Is it going to snow past that date? March, at least where I am, it typically don't. Sometimes, typically don't. So maybe I don't know. I don't know the weather out there. They are in Hokkaido, so fucking maybe, yeah. But we'll see. We'll see where that goes. I love the aspect ratio change. It's great. Other series I've seen do this, more recent ones at least, doing it for flashbacks and stuff, I really always welcome. I think directionally it's the appropriate thing almost to do. You can put like grain and do like other things like on the screen almost to acknowledge that, I guess, where you're at. But I kind of prefer when they do this instead. It gives it a bit more of a cinematic feel, like looking and reflecting past on something. So I like that a lot more too. So I like that being this aesthetic that we're going with for the entirety of this, because likely we're going to continue to always have this unless they show something that's flash forward, and then it becomes extremely obvious that that is what they're doing. And it gives a different feel and vibe, I think, for immersion purposes. And I love the way the subtitles just sit in the black as opposed to on the screen of anything. So it makes me feel like I'm not missing anything, which is always nice. The sitting in the seats and not knowing exactly where you're supposed to sit is super funny to me. He sits next to this chick, and then later he's not. I don't know what the hell's going on there. He's in a completely different seat later. Oh, no, maybe he isn't. I thought he was sitting next to him. I guess he's not. I guess he's sitting in the not the end row, but the one prior to it on the end. So that's why he's over here. Yeah, I guess that would make sense. Oh yeah, because he's in that seat. Okay, I'm off on that. I was off on that. Bro going home early, and look who's coming in late. I was trying to think of it, especially when we exposed, like, I'm gonna go to the park as long as I can so that I don't ever have to go home and be with her mom and just be at that nightmare of a location for her, probably the traumatic place for her to be at, as long as like possible. She wants to stay away from it. So the willingness to not come to school like early and on time and stuff feels off to me, because almost like it seems like that would be the escape, like that would be the place you want to escape to and get away from. But I guess she also doesn't like being here, as she expressed in her letter. So maybe it's trying to be as far away from these places as long as possible, like leaving early morning, making sure she walks, and she's just late as hell so she can just be wandering. But she's got to go or else she'll probably get in trouble and a bunch of other shit. Go home, remembering all the small little details and things. The mask, I'm assuming, might have some sort of relevance, or maybe it's just the flood of memories that he gets from it. But potentially later of him being the hero. Have some food, super cute. Talked about a lot of this earlier, but I really like it a lot. Keep flashing through. I like these shots that we get to when everything goes black and white but her. Notice that Bro's just stared at him, and they bring it up later, noticing some scarring, the coolness about the friend group, and Bro just exposes it. Would you kill somebody? This stuff's really awesome. The layering of the vocals of the two different versions of him, really impactful when it's something that, especially later in the series, likely will show itself off. When it's something that's truly from the heart, and it's not something he's just saying because he potentially would have said it, or it just makes sense at the time, for the younger version of him too. Like, it's truly indicating where it's coming from, that both minds are essentially thinking of this, would have done this. This is just who he is. And I think that that's really fucking cool. And I love that they did that a few different times throughout this. Thought that we could be friends. This bitch being a pain in the ass. You're a fake, just like me. Just calling him out for it, you know? You just want to fit in. You just want to be... And that's the thing. Like, it's easy. It is. It's the easier thing to do, at least. Not easy. It's the easier thing to do, for sure. Like, cater yourself towards those around you. Fit in with the group as opposed to being yourself. It's so much harder to be yourself. To be that person that you are behind closed doors. Nobody is, right? Every single person that you know is not the same person that they are when they're just sitting here. When this camera's off and nobody's in my room and I'm sitting alone, the way that I think or I act or I do whatever, it's not who I am that you see. It's not who I am that my friends see. It's not who I am that whoever sees, right? It's just not. It's just, it truly isn't. You can get really close to it and people can really see those sides of you. But at the end of the day, there's still that hint that you're shielding, that you're protecting almost, that you're only willing to let yourself know, only willing to show yourself almost. And I think him at least acknowledging towards the end and almost trying to change that a little bit is really cool, that I need to at least get closer to this other version of myself, the true version of myself, not hold back on the things that I'm thinking or saying, not alter the way that I would say or think something to fit within the standards of the group or fit within the expectations that they have of me or whatever we would be doing, I think is really cool. Could you kill someone? I don't really know where she's going here, what she means. I don't know. There's got to be something more there. I'm just not picking it up. I'll sit on it. I'll sit on the thing. I'm not going to stay over too long and just think about that. The little flash that we get a little bit towards Yuki here at this plane is fun, just to indicate the courage and the things that he needs to show, right? Trying to give him that advice, likely from somebody who saw it all go past him, right? Now you yourself in the future can almost look back at the mistakes that you make, but connect it with what somebody was trying to tell you before, the lessons that you should have likely taken from back then and you didn't. I like how dude is like, oh, don't do this, and try to help him out. We got a hideout, so that's a place for us to likely go and explore a little bit later. And you're being a little too on point with everything and a little too mature. But you do you. Make sure you read that. Go on through. And just super sad overall. Just wants to escape. Just wants to get to a place where she's alone and free and doesn't have to be shackled by anyone or anything. Getting to see all the abuse and everything else be directed in front of us is just sad. Super, super sad. Run out. Find her, of course, the one place that only you guys know. And let's have a conversation. Let's be a little bit more open with each other. Let's not put on that act. Let me tell you how I'm thinking. Let's really have that heart to heart. And maybe then that person who is so closed off can at least accept that, can at least potentially feel maybe a little bit safer and a little bit more willing to get closer to you. The connection between the words and Irie is fun to throw back to that. What the hell is she up to, and how are we ever going to find her? I guess she's like probably just bored now or not even alive or some shit at this point. So I have no clue where she's coming from or if there's any relation potentially between these two, but I guess we'll figure that out in time. The burden she must take on, inviting her first, the things that would end up meaning too. Not just one of many friends that I would like to have. And then the connection through the hands being cold. I love him calling himself out. Dude, you're 29, lock in. What are we doing? Pretty easy to talk to. I did decide not to lie to you. Coming straight from the heart there. She didn't have gloves either. Last seen 18 years ago. I think her body was only found after the snow melted. Insane. Not leave her alone. Showcase of a few different things here. I want to change the future. And fun ED. The style at least is really cool. Super intriguing episode. I'm very excited to finally be back, have this out the way, and be ready to go. Hopefully come through and finish it. Sorry about the long wait between the episodes, but we are here once again. I'm gonna finish this out. We're not gonna take the breaks. I'm gonna finish this out. I swear to you. I will make my promise. We're going to do this. It's also a promise to myself. You know, hold myself a little accountable on those days that I'm feeling a little lazy. So we'll get through with it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you liked it all, like and subscribe. And to me, feel free to check out the videos and channel and consider the series. I'll be back for episode 3 very soon. Have a